What is all that?
Wakazi, let's say this. This country is bigger than all of us. And as leaders, we need to take our priorities well. We have seen budgets of some of these governors. And we passed the constitution as Kenyans, hoping for better development, hoping that Kenya will move from the national issues to the county issues. And laws are made to man, but no man to the law. The bottom line is this. We need to come up. And these are teething problems of devolved governments. We are still breastfeeding. So we need to put our acts together and say, look, gentlemen, here we went wrong. What do we need to do? If it's to amend the constitution, we do amend it. If it's to come up with the new bills, we come up with them. For simple reason is that if we just keep quiet and assume things are happening and people are just misusing public funds, it will be too unfortunate when Kenya's just passed the new constitution just the other day to have a better Kenya. So let's be sober. There are challenges. You have seen the cabinet secretary for National Treasury talk about VAT. He's just using a very big word. Processed products. Processed products. Milk is a processed product. Bread is a processed product. Unga is a processed product.
But we're only being told about unga.
We are only being told about unga. It will be wrong to include VAT on what I call day products.
Day products.
Day products are products when you wake up, you need to brush your teeth.
Right.
You need to have a cup of tea. You need to have bread. You need to start moving. You need to brush your shoes. Those are day products. They are normal. And let me tell you, he wants to raise funds. He goes that way, he'll have the funds like this. What will happen to the common mwananchi? The common mwananchi will be oppressed completely. So, as we discuss the VAT bill, for me is that day products, processed products affecting the common mwananchi should be zero.
Well, you know, the argument is if you're able to raise revenues in, let's say, about a year or so, you're able to actually subsidize when it comes to even going to health facilities, when it comes to education, infrastructure, all that will be sorted out. And those are some of the things that the poor people need.
Basically, as a country, I think we have better ways of raising funds. We need to think outside the box. Let's not go the way on the day products, the processed products. Let's look as leaders, how do we help this country to raise more funding to fund the government? And for us, we are not opposed or we are not. What we are saying is that let's think keenly as leaders on this issue. How do we raise funds without affecting the common mwananchi? I believe when Jubilee government was coming to power, was very clear that we need to bring the cost of food down, we need to bring the cost of living down, we need to whatever. One day's in power, they want to increase that cost. As leaders, we will not be in tandem with them on that increase.
Right. Let me take you back to an issue that I raised, and of course it has been highlighted on the Daily Nation first page. Yes. The fact that you're deliberating on getting a delegation to go to China to procure chairs for offices at the county hall. Is that justified? Especially when you're talking about misappropriation of funds.
Basically, that's misappropriation. We have enough carpenters in this country to make chairs. Why should we go to China? Let's create wealth within the country.
But Justin Muturi says, you know what, I'm absolutely pressurized. In fact, I'm powerless at this particular
At the end of the day, I pity my speaker. Sometimes he has to work within very thin lines. And basically, us as MPs from the core side, I can assure you, we are not part and parcel of going to buy chairs in China.
So are you basically saying this is purely a Jubilee orchestrated decision?
I believe so. I believe so. Surely, why should we go to buy chairs in China? Let's look at the reality of this country. This country needs a rejuvenated mechanism of doing things. this country need to embrace their own products. This country need to go beyond the extravagance of spending, so that we can save every coin which can go to the common mwananchi. I'll tell you, going to China, delegation going to China, it will cost money, air ticket, accommodation, and whatever. Why can't we go to the internet and search for the chairs and ask for the performer, pay? We give it to the government procurement agent. They bring those things. Why should you send guys to go and look at chairs? You are sitting on a better chair than what you are going to look at China.
Right. You know, just to go back to the place of, and of course this is really political battles as far as the governance of this country is concerned, Jubilee and Court, because I'm actually reading the report here from the Nation, and basically says, Nation established that efforts by 2 senators, that is Beth Mugo, nominated Samile Shore Samburu to convince their colleagues to opt for a local supply of the furniture had failed. So you cannot necessarily say with actual absoluteness that this is actually a plot by the Jubilee side, can you?
You see, if they say that they have failed,
they tried to convince that we need to consider,
but they have tyrant of numbers.
Right.
You know, in both Senate and National Assembly, how can they say they have failed? They are unable to marshal their colleagues to support them? Surely.
So, but by the way, let's get also to focus on the tyranny of numbers. How are you handling it as CORD?
As CORD, we don't, it does not augur any water to us. It's very clear. We use the brain, they use tyranny of numbers.
Because, for instance, even you're a member of the Parliamentary Committee on Appointment, and Jubilee has 16 members of Parliament on the 28-member Committee on Appointments, while you, CORD, you only have 10.
Yes.
So how do you make sure that some of the very tangible ideas that you have are actually brought to fruition?
You know, for us as CORD is that we need to tell the country the actual. They win with tyrant of numbers, we tell the country what is the actual. And you saw it during the time we were debating the appropriation bill. And it was very clear who voted for the teachers and who did not vote for the teachers. So, at the end of the day, a win for CORD is to raise that voice of the common mwananchi. It's not the win on the floor. The win of the floor is tyrant of numbers, which we don't have. And we appreciate they have the numbers. But the win for CORD is that any misuse, any mischief, will tell to the public. And at the end of the day, we'll stand to win by telling the public the truth. And that is the bottom line. So the issue is, where do we go as a country? We are embracing coalition politics, which have just come in after the grand coalition politics. We need to move forward. At the end of the day, I can assure you that that house is very united when some issues come up. And sometimes people are being whipped not to tie the party lines. So basically, it depends on how one in focus, but the bottom line is that we'll keep the government on a healthy check to deliver their promises, because CORD is a government in waiting.
All right. Just perhaps even as we're focusing on the very fact that the Jubilee administration is actually going to have its final day in terms of first 100 days, actually July 16th, how would you rate its performance from your perspective?
Basically, Jubilee, we started, and I'll say this, we have not given them time to look at what they are doing. I would not say that they have performed poorly or they have performed good, because indicators of performance are purely clear. And one thing I'm a bit disappointed is that we are taking too long to resolve the issues of teachers. As a squad, we tried to help the Jubilee government in the floor of the House by moving money to at least give TSC money to pay teachers so that we can settle this thing and our kids go back to school. But what has been happening is one meeting in this boardroom, another one meeting on the other boardroom. When will they come to our same boardroom and come up to a common denominator? The common denominator here is very simple. Let's embrace dialogue for a solution for this issue of teachers. But we'll say this, let teachers be paid. Wakazi, you are here because of a teacher, I'm here because of a teacher. It's the high time we respect that mandate.
All right. So many thanks indeed, of course, speaking to Honourable Member, that is Stephen Mule, a Member of Parliament of Matungulu. We'll be right back. Remember, we're keeping it here locked on the Power Breakfast Show, and of course we'll be linking up with our reporters and our team at State House in relation to the media breakfast meeting. We'll be right back.